Welcome back to our channel where we cover all things real estate, lifestyle, and relocation in Colorado Springs and Monument, Colorado. Today I want to go over a hot topic, which is mortgage and interest rates for homes in 2023 and 2024 and how you can get a lower rate when buying a house. So a lot of people reach out to us daily, weekly, monthly on why buyers are still buying or how they can buy when the rates are 6, 7, 8% depending on the month. There are a few things that you can do to secure a lower interest rate on your home. The first one is a temporary buy down. And say you're a buyer and you pick a home to buy on 123 Main Street. This home is listed for $450,000. The home has been on the market for say 35, 40 days and the seller is getting impatient and is eager to sell the home. We would write up an offer and ask the seller for a credit to be paid out at closing when you buy the home for an interest rate buy down. And what that buy down could look like is that if maybe the going rate is 6.5%, you negotiate a certain amount of money for the seller to pay at closing to get the rate down to maybe 5.5% or 5%. So you're buying the home at a lower price because home prices are lower when the interest rates are higher and the demand is lower, and you're securing a lower interest rate on the home, which you might have previously paid more money for if the interest rates were lower and the demand for that home was higher, meaning that you would have ended up paying more for the home even though your interest rate would have been lower. Another way that you can lower your interest rate is with a very similar concept, but instead of a permanent rate buy down, this is a temporary rate buy down. The beauty of this is that the money that you're paying or the seller is paying for you to get the interest rate down is not wasted. So when you're buying a home and the seller is giving you a credit for a lower interest rate, a fixed rate, whatever the cost of that lower rate was is wasted when you refinance for an even lower rate if the rates do go down. But with a temporary buy down, what you're doing is buying down the rate temporarily. So say the rates are 6.5%, you still have to qualify for the payment at 6.5%, but the seller is now giving you a credit for a temporary buy down, say for example a 2-1 buy down. What that means is for the first year, your interest rate is 2% lower than your fixed rate. For your first year, you pay a mortgage payment as if your rate was 4.5%. Then in the second year, the interest rate is 1% lower. So in the second year, you would pay a mortgage payment as if your interest rate was 5.5% instead of 6.5%. And then in the third year, if you haven't refinanced and the 2 years is up, your rate would go back to the 6.5% and you would be paying your mortgage with a 6.5% fixed rate. What that allows people to do is ease into that payment. They do have to qualify for the payment with the fixed 6.5 interest rate, but it gives you the first 2 years to have a lower payment, ease into being a homeowner. And then the beauty of it is that if in those 2 years the interest rates come down to maybe say 4.5% or 5%, you're able to refinance for a lower fixed rate. So you never have to worry about paying the 6.5% rate. You're not at 5% rate, and whatever money is left from the temporary buy down gets applied to the balance of your loan and thereby lowering your principal, which is not the case with a permanent buy down. So there are advantages to both. Obviously with a temporary buy down, you have more flexibility. You're not wasting the credit that you're getting from the seller or the builder. And with a permanent buy down, you know what you're in for from the get-go and you have a lower rate than the market rate and you can be happier with that rate for maybe longer. And the third way for you to get a lower interest rate is kind of a combination of the first two, and it's going with a new construction home. Builders in our area are sitting on their inventory and are not able to move the homes as they had been in previous years. So they are offering huge credits for temporary buy downs, permanent buy downs, and even offering programs where you can go in and buy a house at a fixed 4.99% interest rate. So those are a few ways that you can secure a lower interest rate when buying a home.